Hey, Lucy. You took money from my wallet again, didn't you?
Huh? I don't know anything about that. You got any proof to back up that accusation?
Who would do it other than you? Your mom left to go on holiday with her other mom friend 2 days ago. My bag's the only thing that's been disturbed, so it's hard to believe we got burglared. Plus, you've done it before. How many times have you stolen money from me now?
I said I didn't do it. Ugh, what kind of sorry excuse if a father doesn't believe their own daughter? This is why you're the worst dad ever.
It's not like I want to suspect you, but you do have previous incidents. If you really insist you didn't do it, there's a chance we got burglared, which means I'll have no choice but to call the police.
Ugh, God, you're so cringe. Fine. It was me. Happy now? Could you seriously get the cops involved over a measly $230? Oh, this is why you make me sick.
$230 isn't measly. It's a lot of money. Why are you always taking money from my wallet? I give you an allowance for crying out loud.
I can't get by on that. You don't give me enough. It disappears the moment I go hang out with my friends or buy a little food. Besides, with Mom gone now, I'm eating out a lot. You should just think of it as my food expenses.
You can't seriously be claiming you need $230 to feed yourself over the 2 days Mom's been gone. Anyway, why can't you just eat at home?
What? No way. I can't eat in a house with a cringy old man like you in it. I'd lose my appetite. Luckily, we have different schedules. So I'm miraculously able to endure the sad reality of you living there. But if I can avoid it, I don't even want to breathe the same air as you. If anything, because I do have to endure breathing the same disgusting putrid air as you, my cringe lord of a dad, you should be paying me a pain in the ass fees. I won't accept anything less than $600 a month.
Stop this at once, Lucy. I can chalk you calling me cringy and talking back to me down to you going through a rebellious phase, but I draw the line at stealing. It might be from your dad's wallet, but stealing from people is unacceptable under any circumstance. Full stop. Kids who do that always end up stealing from strangers before long.
What is this? I don't need a lecture from you. This is why you're a grade A cringe lord. Isn't what I do with your money up to me? You're mine and Mom's ATM, after all.
How dare you call your father an ATM?
Well, that's what Mom always calls you. That you're nothing but an ATM to earn money from me and her. She said that if you didn't work for a good company, she wouldn't have married you in a million years.
What the hell does she think she's playing at, filling a kid's head with this poison? Anyway, stealing any more money from my wallet is forbidden from now on. You need to learn to appreciate the value of money.
Don't tell me what to do, cringe lord. Ugh, I can't believe I have such a gross old man for a dad. I'm the unluckiest person on earth. I wish I could live with my real dad instead.
What? Your real dad? What does that mean? What are you talking about?
What do I mean? Mom's boyfriend, duh. Wait, no way. You didn't know about him?
Huh? Mom's boyfriend?
Did you really not know? Oh, this is too funny. Mom and her boyfriend have been dating since forever. He's so much more handsome than you. He doesn't have your disgusting old man smell. Plus, he isn't a cringe lord. He gives me pocket money every time we meet. He's such a great guy.
What? You're lying, aren't you?
I'm not lying. I know Mom said she was going on holiday with her mom friend. But the truth is, she went with her boyfriend. I can't believe you didn't notice all this time. You really are the king of dimwits.
Seriously, Lucy, how long have you known about this? When did you first meet this boyfriend of hers?
I've known since elementary school. My mom introduced us after telling me she wanted me to meet my real dad. As she put it, that loser old man we live with is an idiot who only exists to provide us with money. You're the only one who didn't know. Oh, how can you be this dumb?
I see. Now that you mention it, I did notice a change in your attitude around that time. It all makes sense now.
Look on the bright side. She said she doesn't plan on divorcing as long as you continue to serve your purpose as an ATM. But be careful. Apparently, the moment you stop bringing money in, you'll be out on the streets. If you don't want to get tossed aside, then be a good little cringe lord and work as hard as you can to earn our money.
I understand where both of you are coming from now. I'll be thinking very carefully about how I proceed from here.
I'm glad. If you understand, you should know not to stick your nose in my business ever again. Oh, I'm going to stay over at my friend's place from today until Mom gets back from holiday. Don't you dare contact me while I'm there. If you do, I'm going to block you. Toodles! Hey, old man. How long are you going to sulk for? I'm going to flip out if you don't cut this out soon.
What the hell do you want? You've been calling me non-stop lately. What do you want?
What do I want? Well, since you started sulking and got all your stuff together and moved out of the house and abandoned your job, I thought I'd let you know. You're allowed to come back now. I'm so kind. And yet, in spite of that, you constantly ignore me. You don't answer my calls, you don't text. I'm warning you. If you keep this up, you won't be allowed to come back anymore.
Abandon my job? What are you talking about? I didn't quit my job. I didn't even transfer.
Your job is to earn money for me and Mom as our personal ATM. But you moved out of the house without our permission and stopped paying for our stuff. That's called abandoning your job?
Listen to me, Lucy. Me and your mother, me and Rachel are divorced. It's been over 3 years. You're in high school now. Surely you understand what that means.
Duh. That's why I'm saying you should apologize to Mom and come back. Surely you've had long enough to cool off by now.
It's not a matter of needing to cool off. The reason we divorced is because Rachel was cheating on me. I have no intention of starting over with her. And I have no intention of coming back to be your ATM.
What? Even though I'm asking you to? I'm your daughter. Things will be difficult for me if you don't come back.
Why?
Mom said I have to find a job when I graduate high school. She said it's your fault I can't go to university because you ran away and won't pay my tuition fees. Plus, she's ignoring me because she said it's my fault you divorced her in the first place. Seems like her and her boyfriend broke up too. She said if I don't hurry up and get a job, she's gonna kick me out of the house. But there's a university I want to go to, and I don't want to leave home. You have to help me. I hate having to say this, but I'm prepared to let you come back.
What? You're prepared to let me? Who exactly do you think you are? Even just being asked to come back is enough to make me shudder. Why would I want to be in the same house as you two? I'm at my wit's end with the pair of you exploiting me. Besides, I have absolutely no obligation to look after either of you in any way, shape, or form.
What? Don't talk nonsense. It's a dad's duty to look after his daughter. Even a moron could understand that. Stop screwing around. Hurry up and apologize to Mom for what you did and come back home. You don't have any right to say no. You know why that is? Because ATMs have no free will. Now get back here so I can withdraw money from you.
You're not my daughter.
What?
When I divorced your mom after finding out about her affair, I got curious. So I went to a special clinic and had a DNA test done. Me and you aren't related at all. And you're definitely not my daughter. You're Rachel's lover's daughter.
What? What is this? Huh?
Looks like she was cheating on me from before we even got married. She got pregnant with you. But since he was broke and couldn't provide for you, she married me instead and tricked me into thinking you were mine. She came clean about everything when she testified for the divorce arbitration. So it's all true.
No, this can't be happening.
Well, it is happening. We're strangers with no blood relation whatsoever. That said, I can't do anything about the fact that from a legal perspective, we're still considered father and daughter. So, I didn't like it, but it seemed I was still obliged to pay you child support.
Oh, you are? Yeah, you are. Yeah, of course you still have to give me money.
The key word being seen. Turns out that in actual fact, I no longer have any obligation to pay you anything at all. After discussing it with my lawyer, we were able to agree on canceling out the child support payments with part of the compensation Rachel owes me. My obligation towards you ends once and for all with that.
What? Does this mean I won't get any money? Does this mean I can't go to university?
Well, you won't be getting any money out of me. But how about instead of begging from a complete stranger, you try asking your real dad, or apply for a scholarship to go to university?
But Mom said I'm not allowed to do anything involving debt. And like I said earlier, she said I have to hurry up and find a job because we have no money. I don't even have Mom's boyfriend's contact details.
If you're so desperate to go to university, you need to speak to your parents first. Pleading with a stranger you have no connection to like this is a little weird, don't you think? I'm not your guardian anymore. Never ask me for anything again.
What? How could you say such a thing? Just because I might not technically be your real daughter, you still raised me for the last 14 years. That means we have a special bond. Surely the least you could do is help me out in my time of need.
You really have no shame, huh? You spend God knows how many years insulting me. You call me a disgusting cringe lord. You call me your personal ATM. And then you have the nerve to come crawling back to me when you're in trouble without even a hint of an apology for treating me like dirt or for stealing my money? But let's face it, it's only ever about what suits you, right?
Fine. I can apologize. I'm sorry. I won't call you a cringe lord anymore. And I won't take any more money from your wallet. I'll do as you tell me to. Please, can I have the money to go to university now?
Just because you apologize doesn't mean I'm suddenly gonna start handing out money.
What? Why? But I apologized. Why won't you help me even though I apologized?
What's the connection? At what point did I say I'd help you if you apologized? Besides, you told me before to never stick my nose in your business again, right? Just like you wanted. I won't stick my nose in. That means no helping hand and no money.
But I said that ages ago. I didn't mean forever. I was just joking around. Please, I'm begging you. All my friends are going to university. I can't be the only one who has to get a job. It's not fair.
What's wrong with finding work? In fact, job hunting gets my vote. Maybe this way you'll finally start appreciating the value of money. You need to know what it means to earn $1.
Don't say that. Please. I'm begging you. Dad, please.
Don't call me Dad. Because as I told you, I'm not your dad.
Oh my God.
We have nothing more to talk about. I'm busy, so I'm ending this here. Never contact me again. If you do, I'm gonna block you. Have a nice life. And that's the story of how 14 years of harassment from my daughter came to an end. Lucy wasn't able to go to university in the end, and begrudgingly started working at a company her school gave her a recommendation for. But she failed to form any relationship with her coworkers as a result of her selfish, arrogant personality. And after getting into constant bickering matches with everyone around her, she was deemed to be a hindrance to the company and fired after barely 6 months. She struggled to find another job, and now I hear she's pretty much a full-blown NEET. As a result, the situation at home between her and Rachel is tense. Apparently, they get into huge fights every single day. The neighbors started calling in complaints about them, and now they're social pariahs too. The rent slowly stopped being paid on time, and between that and their neighbors hating them, it wouldn't surprise me if they got evicted soon. As for me, I got remarried to a girl my boss introduced me to. Our daughter is super affectionate towards me. She's so much cuter than Lucy. They're incomparable. I intend to teach her the importance of respecting people and how to appreciate the value of money. The last thing the world needs is another Lucy.
Thank you for watching. Please subscribe and hit the like button. See you next time.
I can't believe this. I thought I was seeing things. Was that really you, Kelly?
Excuse me? This can't be Jem. Or is it? I thought I blocked you. How'd you get my line ID?
Oh yeah, it's probably because I switched phones and got a new line ID.
I didn't expect a text from you, to be honest.
I guess the last time we talked was like 3 years ago, after our divorce, right? I really didn't expect to see you at my friend's wedding.
Are you here? Don't tell me you're here at the wedding reception right now.
There's only one wedding held at the hall right now, so I'm pretty sure it's one and the same. What a coincidence, huh? I divorced you because you wouldn't give me a kid, and then I run into my ex at my friend's wedding 3 years later. You can't make this stuff up. I was invited to the wedding by the groom. How about you?
On the bright side, we work at the same company.
Oh, so that means you work at Ace Trading. Wow, I didn't think you had it in you. That's a pretty good company, I hear.
Where I work has nothing to do with you. It's none of your business.
Well, that's where you're wrong. I'm married to your younger sister, Susan. How is that none of my business? We're family. She's been shunned by her folks and all her relatives. The least I can do for my dear wife is to convey to her that her big sister is alive and well.
Are you serious? You betray me and you have an affair with my little sister? You have no right to say that. And as for my baby sister, she betrayed me too. She had an adulterous affair with my ex-husband. Who can blame my folks for not wanting to do anything with her or to you? There's nothing we need to be ashamed of. I would really prefer that you not contact me anymore.
Oh, come on, Kelly, calm down. No need to get all high and mighty. It's my friend's wedding after all.
Then just stop sending me messages and stay out of my life.
That's what I'm talking about. That presumptuous attitude. I thought I just said let's not be rude and just calm down.
The wedding reception is getting started. Maybe you should concentrate on celebrating your friend's wedding.
Yeah, maybe you're right. See you around. Hey, Kelly, Jim here again. I forgot to tell you, but I'm a father now. Can you imagine? Man, if I'd stayed married to you, this would never have happened. A father. Unbelievable. And it's a boy. I have a son. You can imagine how my mother took it. She always wanted a boy, as someone to take over the family one of these days. Do you remember how she went on and on about it? She was praising Susan to the hilt and going on about our boy being her first grandson. Susan and my mum get along so well. They are like the best of friends. If only you were able to have kids, my mum wouldn't have hated you so much. I actually feel for her. I mean, think about it. We couldn't have kids for 5 years. And Mum waiting for her first grandson all those years, which you failed to provide. I can understand her animosity towards you. It sure was tough right after we divorced, what with that compensation I had to pay. We had a hard time making ends meet for a while, but year after we split, my father inherited quite a bit after my grandfather died. Now we've got it made. No more money worries. In fact, we've got a pretty good life. What I'm trying to say is that after I dumped you, although it was tough the first year, we're now in easy mode, living the good life. Oh, and in comparison, well, what the hell happened to you, Kelly? Sorry, it's just that I feel so sorry for you. I mean, to be honest, you look dreadful. What happened to you? I took one look at you and I almost burst out laughing. I mean, I held back, because I didn't want to be rude, you know. I mean, Kelly, really? What's with that tummy? How many rolls of fat are you hiding under that dress? Oh my god. It's only been like 3 years. You sure put plenty flesh on them bones. Oh, after I dumped you, you probably just let it all go. Is that it? Oh, I know, I shouldn't be laughing, but man, I can't get over it. Hey, are you seeing this? No response from you, even after all that, huh? Oh, I can see that your phone is sitting on the table. Pick it up for God's sake. Hey, Kelly. That guy you're sitting next to, what? You trying to pick the guy up or something? A little close for comfort. You do know who that guy is, right? He's the CEO of that media corporation. His company is all the rage now. I don't think it's a good idea to try seducing the guy, especially with that tummy. Oh, no use trying, Kelly. Extremely unlikely he would even give you the time of day. Oh, I suggest you go on a diet, then maybe try again. Looks like it's photo time with the bride and groom. Oh, let me give you a tip. Stop bothering the guy next to you and just concentrate on gobbling up that food in front of you. That's what you came here for in the first place, right? Hey, Kelly, Jimmy boy here again. Hey, why'd you get so fat anyway? Just curious. I want to take home some juicy bit of news to the wife and kid. They'll get a good laugh out of it. I bet you were so broken-hearted after divorcing me that you went into total despair, that all you could do was sit around and eat all day. That's it, isn't it? Oh.
You really don't give up, do you?
Hey, Kelly, finally decided to respond, huh?
I left it on the table on purpose. I thought it would be rude to be staring at the phone all day. Wanted to show a little respect, unlike some people I know. I just read over all your messages. What the hell is all this? This is a festive occasion. Why don't we stop with all this nonsense? I mean, why did you even come to this wedding? To tap away on your smartphone and make derogatory remarks to your ex-wife? Don't you have better things to do, for Pete's sake?
But I just couldn't help myself. I mean, look at you. How can I not make remarks to the huge belly?
Well, that tummy, it's that way because I'm pregnant. That's why.
Excuse me?
Oh yeah, and also, that guy I was sitting next to? The guy you said I was sitting too close to and that I was trying to seduce or something? You know the guy you said who was the CEO of that media corporation? That's my husband. That's right, we're married.
A what? Your husband? You're pregnant? But how?
I don't plan on going to that after party, so I'm off.
Hey, wait a sec. Can you even have... I thought you couldn't have kids. Kelly, are you there? About my son, he's not my kid. A few years back, I caught Susan cheating with another guy. I thought it was all over, just thought it was a fling, but I got to thinking. Anyway, I did a DNA check and found out that he wasn't my kid. How did this even happen? I really don't need this in my life. I just confronted Susan about this, and after I confirmed her infidelity, I handed her the divorce papers, and now we're living apart. I'm at my parents' place. You remember the place we all lived together when we were married, right? The 2-apartment style home. Well, I moved in with my folks, and Susan and that kid live next door. So what I have to do now is get that divorce through and kick Susan and the kid out of our home. Then I can move back into my own place. But, well, when all that is solved, Kelly, I want to... Well, wait a second. Maybe this is not the right time. I prefer that we wait. Wait until I'm in a better frame of mind. When all this emotional baggage is gone, and until then, I want you to be patient. Okay, Kelly? Kelly, you there? I did it. I divorced her. And I got a sizable amount of compensation out of her too. But she has no money to speak of, so it's just a pittance. Nevertheless, I took her for all she had, emptied her savings account. Man, what a relief. Let's go on a honeymoon with this money. What do you say, Kelly? Like old times? This time we'll do it right. We'll try for that honeymoon baby. Now that you can have kids, anyway. What about it, Kelly? Sounds pretty good,
This is way too creepy for me. Would you stop contacting me?
Pardon me?
I was going to just ignore you, but you seemed like you were going to go on and on about it. So I thought I would put a stop to it once and for all. I should first mention, my husband is sitting right next to me, just so you know before I continue.
Why is he there?
Now, why wouldn't I want my husband here? I don't keep secrets from him. I thought I told you this already, Jim. I remarried. And what's more, I'm pregnant with his child. I kind of remember someone chiding me about my big belly a couple of months ago. So, why the hell are you talking about getting back together with me? And about this so-called honeymoon? Have you gone totally bonkers?
But don't you think it's fate? I mean, we were made for each other.
What the hell are you even talking about?
We were reunited at my friend's wedding. I thought I'd never see you again, but there you were. I call that fate. That's where I learned you could actually have kids, that it was all a mistake. You don't call all this fate. Then I found out about Susan, and all the pieces fell into place. I also learned that the kid wasn't mine. I would have ended up bringing up a totally unknown stranger. This whole affair, how everything sort of happened at once, all of it materializing in front of us. We were made to get back together, to be with one another. It was God's will. That's why we should be husband and wife again.
Jim, can I ask you something?
What is it?
Didn't you ever think that you were the problem? That you're infertile?
Wait, what? Me? Infertile? No way.
We were married for 5 years, and we couldn't have kids during that time. And after you married Susan, you guys tried for 3 years, right? But you were unsuccessful. So, that's like 8 years of trying. Kind of points to the obvious. Don't you agree?
Yes, well, maybe, but how could I be, no, that can't be right.
This is just my opinion, but maybe you should see a doctor and get checked out. That's the only way to find out for sure. To be honest, I don't care what you do. It's none of my business whether you're fertile or not.
But that doesn't mean,
We got a bit sidetracked, but listen to me, Jim, and listen good. I have no intention of getting back together with you, much less going on a honeymoon with you. Are you nuts? I am really mystified that you would want to get back together with me. I told you I was married and have a child on the way. Why the hell would you even think of rekindling this whole pathetic relationship?
well, that's because I found out you could have kids, that you were actually fertile, so, you know.
I'm starting to sound like a broken record, for God's sake. I'm married, Jim. Hitched, united, and wedlocked. Join in holy matrimony. How many different ways do I have to keep saying this to you? I'm going to have a child with someone who is not you.
But we could still, you can give birth to that kid, get a divorce, transfer all rights to your husband. We can start anew.
Ugh, you're not serious.
Pretty good idea, huh? What do you say? Want to go for it?
I think you need to see a doctor, Jim. I don't think a guy like you should have kids, to be honest. You make no sense whatsoever. That's the craziest thing I ever heard.
Why would you say that? It's not crazy at all.
Wow, if you truly feel that way, God help us. You know what, Jim? I think it would be better for humanity if you stayed single for the rest of your life. Goodbye. My younger sister Susan and her son, she apparently contacted the real father, and he took the boy in and is now living with the guy's parents. That left my sister all alone. I never heard from her after that. As for my ex-husband, it seems he never took my advice to see that doctor about his infertility. Guess he wasn't ready to face reality. Probably never will.
Last I heard, he and my ex-mother-in-law tried hooking Jim up to various girls, but eventually, their overzealous methods just turned people away until they were considered persona non grata. They were just creeped out by him. I also heard that my former in-laws eventually got divorced. What I heard was that Jim and his mother used up most of what his father received as his inheritance. He sued them later for like $60,000. Last I heard, Jim and his mom are working day and night to pay back the enormous debt that had accumulated.
Thank you for watching. Please subscribe and hit the like button. See you next time.
Marta, I had assumed for such a long time that you were awful at saving money for the future. However, I've just learned that you have over $500,000 saved up and everything? Huh? Wait, did you end up going into my place without ever asking me first? I have a lock on the place and everything that I keep locked, yet you still made it inside there? I just had to break your doorknob in order to get the door open, but that was pretty easy. You broke my frickin' doorknob to get into my place? Your door seemed to only be made out of cheap plywood or something like that, so it wasn't too hard to get your doorknob to break. What the hell? I'm only renting this place, so you need to calm the hell down. I was then able to get through your door after breaking the lock and everything, and was able to get a good look at your bank book. And that's when you got a good look at the account that has $500,000 in it, huh? That's absolutely right. So would you mind telling me why you have that kind of money saved up in there? Don't tell me that you did something unlawful to get your hands on that kind of money, and that's where you've been keeping it. That's not how I got that money at all, Mom. Well, since you've seen the amount I have now, it'd be better for me to explain where it's all from and what it's for to you. That $500,000 is being saved by me for when I plan to retire so that I have something to fall back on in my old age. Retirement money? I've already told you before that I have no plans of getting married to anyone, right? I mean, I might one day have the urge to go out and marry someone if they end up being the person I'd want to spend the rest of my life with. But I'm already in my 30s now, and so I don't think that time will ever come. I think I'm better off just staying single and enjoying my life the way I like it. So in order to protect myself as I keep on aging, I've been saving up a large amount of money in case I ever need it for an emergency. But primarily for when I'm too old to care for myself. I understand that with work and everything, I'll most likely get myself a pension and perhaps a package on top of that as well when retiring. But it's nice to know I have some extra wealth to rely on if that money isn't enough. I've been working on saving that money up for about 10 years now, and with the help of some bonuses from work, it's made it to $500,000. Is that right? Well, now I can finally see that you didn't steal it from anywhere or something like that. Now I have something to ask you. Would you please give all that money to your older brother and his wife so that they can put it into their new home and get on with their lives? What? You understand that your brother has begun the process of building a new house, right, for his wife? I do know about that, yes. He even held a groundbreaking ceremony for the place as well, right? But, Mom, you can't just ask me to hand over my savings to him for something like that. Both he and his wife do very well for themselves and are great at saving their own money up. So I doubt that either of them need my money in order to build that place, right? If you're going to say no to me, then I'm going to have you kicked out. Huh? Have me kicked out of the house? What house are you talking about? I'm talking about your family's house. You know that I'm talking about having you kicked out of this place, right? Huh? I can't believe you, Marta. Going into your 40s here soon, and yet you're still living with your parents and everything in our house? I'm working a job of my own now, and I pay for my right to be here. Are you not aware that being the age you are and still living with your parents in their house causes them a lot of frustration? Causes you guys a lot of frustration? You think I'm the one causing you guys all the problems? I do, I sure do. All you are is a middle-aged woman that only cares about money and never plans on finding herself a husband. You may be our daughter, but you cause your father and I a lot of embarrassment by not moving out. You have a very long time before you need to start worrying about retirement and all of that. All you have to do is hand that money over to your brother, and then you can start saving up all over again and get that money back by the time you do have to retire. So if you want to continue living here with us, then you have to give up that $500,000 and hand it over to us. I'm not going to say all of this again to you, you greedy, husbandless woman. What's going on with you? Jake, do you have a moment to talk with me? I have something that I'd really like to ask you about.
Hey, Marta! What's going on with you?
When it comes to you and your wife, you both aren't struggling with money at the moment, correct?
Huh? Why are you asking me a question such as that?
Before I tell you, can you give me an answer to that question?
We're doing fine over here. And we don't really plan to get any help with the money right now anyway. If we really needed money and we had to go and get a bunch of loans, we'd never be building a house like the one we're working on.
That's what I thought. I know that I had to ask you something pretty personal, but it makes me feel a little better knowing that you guys aren't the problem. Sorry that it was something like that I was asking about.
You don't have to be so sorry about it. But it's very rare for someone like you to be asking me a question like that. What's been going on that's made you feel the need to ask?
Well, it has something to do with Mom again.
Again? Is she trying to do something strange with you again?
Well, what she's asked of me has something to do with you, and that's both why I've asked you that question and did so with a little bit of hesitation to telling you why.
What does she have to do with me?
Early today, around lunch, I was going out with a client of mine to have some talks. And while I was out doing that, Mom went and broke the doorknob to my place and went inside after completely ruining the door.
She broke down your door, basically?
And when she was in my place looking through my drawers, she stumbled across my bank book and got a good look at my savings account that has $500,000 in it.
Why is she in your place in the first place?
Well, it's because of things like this that I have you holding on to one of my checkbooks, and why I carry the other one on me at all times. So she was never able to actually access any of the money in my account. But she began asking me about the money while I was still out with my client. I couldn't just hide the reason for me having that money from her, since she'd probably get the wrong idea from it. So I told her the truth about the savings account and that it's meant for retirement. But after doing that, well, she asked me to take all of that $500,000 and hand it over to you guys for your new house to be built.
Huh?
Can you tell me what's really going on here?
Wait, I don't want anything to do with the money you've been saving, okay? We don't need it here.
That's what I was thinking. I even knew you'd say that to me.
But that's interesting. Interesting that she would say something like that about me.
What the hell is going on with her this time, I wonder?
Marta, that's... This might be happening because of something I said or did around her.
Huh? What do you think happened to cause this?
Well, to tell you the truth, the construction on my new house has only just begun, but they've already gotten most of the wood beams up and everything. The skeleton, you know? And, well, Mom came and saw all of that.
That house you're having built right now is for you, your wife, and her parents to come and live in when it's finished, right? What was her reason for going out there to see the place being built?
Yeah, well, at first I thought she was there to just check the place out a little bit due to her curiosity, but I think she realized that there are two houses being built on the land, and started to think about it.
There's another part being built separately?
Well, that building is really being used for my wife to use as a classroom for when she teaches flower arrangement. But she came up to ask me to let her live there, and then kind of forced us to let her live there. And she even began to call us over and over again about it, and asking us to let her live there in that separate building.
Wait, but that's not okay. Your wife is pregnant at the moment as well, right? Your wife is in her late 40s as well now, so she can't have that kind of stress worrying about Mom and her antics while carrying a baby.
That's right. Hence why I've gone and blocked her number, and that way she won't be able to talk to us anymore while my wife is carrying our baby. So that's kind of the reason for why she might be coming after you now. Mom's a total jerk for pushing herself onto both of us like this. So, to get her to leave us alone for good, I just sent her one text before blocking her, saying that if she brings me $500,000, then she can come and live in the new house with us.
Ah, and that's why she wants the $500,000 from me then.
In other words, I thought telling her off with some kind of deal like that would get her to leave everyone alone, but it's only made things a lot more crazy for us all. I'm sorry, Marta. I didn't think that any of this would spread to you so quickly, or at all for that matter.
I see. So that's what happened to get her to act this way. I'm not sure if she realized you were serious about that offer or not, but she seems to have started to look around for some money to start paying you. And when she saw that I had exactly that amount in my bank account, she told me to give it to you to help you with the house, which isn't the case after all.
I'm so sorry about this, Marta. Seriously.
Well, it's fine. This is a bit more than I was expecting, but it's actually kind of nice knowing that you guys are financially okay and don't really need my money for anything.
You feel alright about all this?
She gave me an ultimatum regarding the money, saying that if I don't give up my money, that she'd kick me out of her house. However, I've had a place in my name for a while now, but just haven't fully moved into it yet. And I've just kind of been sitting around thinking about what to do with the place. And since I'm not being threatened with being kicked out of the house, this might be the perfect chance for me to move the rest of myself into that place.
She said she would kick you out? That's a bit too extreme. She really has no idea about anything regarding our lives, does she?
That's right. So if she really wants to talk to me like that, then I guess I will go back to living in that other place I have.
I see. Well, have fun with that then. And if you need anything from me while that's going on, just give me a heads up and I'll come by.
Marta? If you don't want me telling my single and greedy daughter about what I'll do to her here soon, then hand me that $500,000, all right? If you don't, then you're going to have a real problem on your hands. You're going to lose the place you live in and then be forced onto the streets. And I might even have to cut ties with you as well. You understand that, right? I understand and am totally fine with that. Huh? I'm not handing you over that $500,000 you so desperately want from me. So I'm supposed to leave the house now, right? Huh? Wait a second there, Marta. From what I can tell, you don't actually understand what I've told you then, right? After you are kicked out of this house, I'm going to cut ties with you for good. Yeah, and that's totally okay with me, Mom. Huh? And actually, I'm already out of that house now. Huh? I've gone back to my old place that I've had under my name for a while now, and I've made sure to bring all my things with me. So you don't have to worry about me anymore, okay? Huh? What place are you talking about? Huh? Why are you getting all surprised about this? Well, look, Well, 2 years ago you ran out of money to support yourself on your own, and that's why you came back home to live with us, right? And when your father died last year, the money from him... You were after that, right? Excuse me? What are you talking about? The whole reason I came back home to live with you guys is because Dad was sick and you guys needed my help. And when he passed away, I couldn't just leave you, so I stuck around to continue to care for your needs. Right? Huh? Have you had no clue about all of this whole time? I guess I'll have to make this explanation as simple as possible for you then. To start, that place you've been living in with Dad for the past few years costs about $800 in rent each month. But the person that's actually been paying the rent this whole time has been me. Huh? For the longest time, Dad had been the one with his name on the place, but after he passed away, I was given the place to continue renting. Is that right? And not just the rent, but the water and gas, as well as the electricity and the food have all been paid for by me. I've been getting around $500 from Jake each month, but the rest is paid for by me. And as for the money that you've been spending for the past year now, that's all been from Dad after he passed away. But I'm assuming, based on how much you spend all the time, that amount from him is running dry and will all be gone soon. Are you sure? I am. Also, the main reason I haven't left the house and you this whole time after Dad became sick and then passed away is just because you can't do jack by yourself. You can't cook, you can't clean, you can barely even change your clothes without me telling you to sometimes. You made Dad do all the housework back when he was alive and well, right? Well, Dad was a whole lot better at doing all those things than me. And back when Jake and I were both growing up with you guys, the three of us would be able to do all the chores while you just sat around. But you never once lifted a finger to come and help us out, and that painted a very bad picture of you in our heads. To be frank, you aren't in any shape to need someone around that needs to care for you, and you are able to get anything done that needs to be done on your own. So you should be forced to do that now. But of course, you still need the rent and stuff paid for on that house, so I couldn't just leave you to handle all that on your own. Jake has taken over the company of his father-in-law and doesn't have time to come over to you guys anymore. And as for me, I work remotely and can make my own schedule up, so I'm the only one in the family with a situation that works out well enough to allow me to be there at your house. That's the whole reason I had to leave my place and come back to you both when you guys needed the house. I never knew about any of this before. We've told you plenty of times before. Even Dad told you before he passed away. But I do remember that every time we'd talk with you about it, you'd go on whining about how you wanted to go and live with Jake and leave Dad behind with me at the house. And even after he passed away, you still whined about being with Jake and his wife, so you never ever listened to what we had to tell you. But that's because it's normal for the mother to go and live with her oldest son. And that's why everyone told you over and over again that Jake and his wife have been having to care for her parents. Because unlike your lazy butt, the both of them can't even walk well enough anymore and need the help. And another reason they don't want you around anymore is because you kept trying to force them to let you live there. Why don't you just listen to what they have to say and then be quiet about it? I understand that you would have looked at the place and thought that you'd be able to just squeeze on into it, but that extra building you saw being built is meant to be for his wife's flower arranging classes, which they are now going to be using to house her parents in. But you didn't even listen to that story either and have now created a lot of unnecessary stress for them all. But Jake told me that if I had $500,000 to give to him, he'd think about letting me live there. That's why I need your $500,000. Jake only said that as a way of getting you to stop talking to them, and it almost worked out for everyone. Huh? He never thought that you'd come looking for money from me and then expect to get said money once you found it. But he's going to need that money for the house, right? He told me he doesn't even need my $500,000 and to keep it. What? But that's... It looks like we've both gone on a bit too long with this, but that's what's been happening, Mom. Marta? I've told the real estate agency that starting next month, the contract on that place is being canceled. You're canceling it? You have until next April to move out of there. But that's not even half a year away anymore. You have a place already and prepared for me to live in next, right? And it seems that Jake has been on to that. What? But be aware that this doesn't mean you're going to go and live with him next. Then what is he planning to do with me? Well... Marta, what the hell? You are my gosh dang daughter, so you take care of me until the day I die. Shut the hell up, Mom. Huh? Have you not even realized yet that I'm super pissed at you? Marta? You started all of this off by saying that you'd have me kicked out of my own place and then cut ties to me. But only an hour or so later, you're asking for me to take care of you until the end? I'm tired of listening to you change your mind all the time, only to fit your selfish needs. Wait a second. You can't talk to me like that. Who the hell was the one that asked for me to be this upset? Huh? Having to keep talking to you like this is hurting my heart. I can't do this with you any longer. I'll do as you've asked and cut ties with you. Wait, Marta! Goodbye forever. Marta! After I finished with her, I handed everything off to my brother to finish up. Since my mom didn't really have any more money for herself, Jake ended up spending a little bit on her to make sure that she was sent to an old folks' home to spend the rest of her days. But on the day she was supposed to go into her new living quarters, she began to bawl her eyes out and ran to Jake's house looking for him to take her, but that never happened. She then proceeded to head back to the old folks' home and moved into her room. Every so often, we get calls from the place regarding her, saying that she doesn't require a lot of their attention, but she's also not really bonding with any of the other people living there. Now, as for me, after telling my mom that I was through with her out of anger and then explaining I was cutting ties to her, I never got a text or call from her again. I'm thinking that the next time I'll be meeting with her will be at her funeral. But of course, I don't mind that becoming reality, and have started to only focus on myself and the fun life I want to live. Thank you for watching and listening. We hope you enjoyed the video. Don't forget to like this video and subscribe. Also, feel free to leave a comment about what you thought of the story. We look forward to seeing you at the next story.